Hello, my name is Marshall McDaniel. I'm an associate professor in soil plant interactions at Iowa State University in the agronomy department. I'm here to give an overview on my longer talk, The Science Behind Soil Carbon Credits on Crops TV. This is an outline of my talk. I basically have set up an outline that is the known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns of the science on soil carbon based on our former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. And the known that we know is that conservation practices on average increase soil organic carbon. And that's based on hundreds and hundreds of individual studies that are aggregated into what are called meta-analyses. And we know on average practices like no-till, cover crops, and adding manure can increase soil carbon from 0.1 to greater than 1 megagram or a ton of carbon per hectare per year. Some of the unknown unknowns is that monitoring that change in soil organic carbon is very challenging due just to the inherent spatial variability or how variable it is within a farm field. Soil organic carbon changes very slowly. And then places like Iowa, where we have these very rich mollisols pictured here in the bottom right, the amount of organic carbon is already very high and can make monitoring changes very challenging. The other kind of known unknowns with the science on soil carbon is that there are co-benefits and trade-offs with these management practices that increase soil organic carbon. So co-benefits are other important agronomic or environmental benefits of these soil health practices that are not related to carbon, like maybe reducing nutrient leaching or improving water holding capacity, whereas trade-offs are things that are negative that also come along with some of these conservation practices that increase soil organic carbon, and that might be a decrease in yield. And some of the unknown unknowns are how is government involvement going to change, and that will really affect how these carbon markets fluctuate and how we monitor and report and verify changes in soil carbon. And then another kind of unknown is rapidly developing technologies to quickly measure soil organic carbon, and this could improve the challenge and the known unknown of monitoring soil organic carbon change. I have a few resources here for you to check out, including a link to my longer talk on Crops TV. One of these resources is through the Ag Decision Maker, a couple of documents prepared by my colleague, Dr. Alejandro Plastina, and it's how to grow and sell soil carbon credits in U.S. agriculture. How do data and payments flow through these ag carbon programs? I also want to advertise Conversations About Carbon, hosted by my colleague, Dr. Lisa Schulte-Moore at the ISU Bioeconomy Institute and our college. And then also I want to advertise a quite comprehensive document that myself and 50 other Iowa State scientists put together called the Carbon Science for Carbon Markets, Emerging Opportunities in Iowa, and this was part of a State of Iowa Carbon Task Force. And then finally, I just want to plug my full talk on science of soil carbon on Crops TV, and my contact information is at the bottom of the screen here if you'd like to contact me. Thank you.